Coming soon, a decision on the future of High Speed 2. It's going to be big, it's difficult, it won't please everyone, but Transport Secretary Grant Shapps told Nick Ferrari on LBC today it can't be avoided.
I am now in the sort of final stages of gathering all the data together for HS2. It's a mega decision for this country. It's the biggest project, infrastructure project, certainly in Europe, and the biggest that this country's ever taken, is certainly in peacetime. So we've got to get that right. And the last piece of data are coming together, and then I will make a decision along with the Prime Minister and the Chancellor.
And when might that be?
It's weeks rather than months away, because apart from anything, we have sort of go, no-go decisions which absolutely have to be made. So we are nearing the conclusion, but I don't want to preempt that by...
No. Well, we know by Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Well, again, as I say, it's weeks rather than months.
Well,
certainly during February.
We await to see developments. Christian Wolmar is a railway analyst and enthusiast, I think we can say, Christian, who wrote a book on Crossrail. Not a fan of HS2, are you, in fact?
No, I've looked at that project for many years, and it's deeply flawed.
Right. But you can see that this is not an easy decision for Boris Johnson. Just take us through the kind of the two sides, the two little voices on his neck.
Yes, I think he's really stuck here, actually, because on the one hand, he's a man who likes the grand projet. He wanted to put an airport in the middle of the Thames estuary. He vaguely kind of considered a bridge between Scotland and Ireland, all that sort of thing. So he loves this sort of big idea. But I somewhat suspect that he's been looking at the minutiae of this project, found that it's deeply flawed. He's got Dominic Cummings in his ear. He's got Andrew Gilligan, his transport advisor.
Transport advisor.
Yeah, also in his ear saying, look, this is, a load of cobblers, don't do it, let's cut out. And then, just to add a bit of piquancy, he's got these new northern MPs and all this support in the north, all these new voters. And he can't just say, scrap it. Because, he's going to anger these new supporters. In
fairness, quite a few of the northern MPs are saying don't build it. We'd rather the money was spent on something else for the north, going all the way from Hull to Liverpool on the fast line across the country rather than the north-south.
This might give him an out. I think that his best possible out is to bite the bullet, scrap the project, but to absolutely guarantee some sort of big infrastructure program for the north, some big fund that is definitely kind of ring fence, new money and so on for the north. That's probably his best way out of it.
There is a difficulty, isn't there, which is what you might say is, OK, we won't build the whole of HS2, we'll build a half HS2. But as soon as you start doing that, all the kind of cost-benefit ratios and all the maths begins to disintegrate.
No, absolutely. The first step is building it to Birmingham, and that has, as you say, a less good business case than building the whole thing, which will go from London to Birmingham, then Manchester and Leeds. And and another kind of way of cutting costs would be to start it off at Old Oak Common, which is 3 or 4 miles outside of London, and then people would have to get on Crossrail to get there. It doesn't quite work as an idea, but it'll save $6 billion. So any decision that he has to make is going to be tough and is going to anger some people, not least, quite possibly, some of his new supporters.
We had Andrew Sentence, who's on the Oakervie review panel, though, and he said the panel is saying go ahead with this project. And he said they're spinning it that it's actually kind of rather equivocal, but he said the panel are in favour. Not everybody is in favour, not unanimous, but the panel is in favour.
Yes, indeed. And it was leaked during the election that the panel said that. But, Boris Johnson does not have to obey what this panel suggests. And there's certainly, the counter report from the deputy chairman, Lord Berkeley, who said precisely the opposite. So there's been a minority report and we haven't seen a majority report yet.
And that gives him a way out. Christian Wolmar, thanks so much for coming in.